If you rely on other people financially, you are shooting yourself in the foot. So I'm talking to everyone who lives off government assistance, who stays with their parents, who asks for handouts, who asks for bailouts. I'm talking to you guys. When you live off of other people, when other people, whether it's the government, whether it's your parents, whether it's friends, whether it's loans, whatever it is, when you're living off of other people's support and assistance, you have no autonomy or freedom in life, right? And the human desire for freedom is one of the strongest desires that we have outside of sex and reproduction. So humans are generally the most happy when we have when we have a feeling that we have the most control over the autonomy and the choices that we make in our lives. And to the extent that you're financially stable and financially free and independent is to the degree that you'll be able to experience that freedom to its fullest extent. So when you don't have money, or when you're relying on other people to take care of you, you're almost in a way like a child, right? And again, I'm not here to say that certain people don't need help with government assistance. I'm not here to say that certain people shouldn't live with their parents, right? Like, at the end of the day, you know, we all have certain things that have happened to us outside of our control, whether it's an illness, whether we were born with a disability, right? Like, I'm not here to argue that, right? Or, hey, maybe your parents are poor and that you need to be there to like, you know, help out or whatever. Certain things, like certain like people that grow up in different cultures, and maybe you grew up with immigrant parents that struggled to provide and do that. Again, I understand. So I'm not knocking you guys, right? But I would say that the people that have control over their finances, that are able-bodied and can actually go out there and work, I'm talking to you guys, because at the end of the day, human beings can use all sorts of excuses. My parents, you know, I'm sick, or I can't do it, or I don't like this job, or I can't work around certain people, right? Like, you could have a whole swath of excuses in your mind as to why you can't go out there and make money and have money so you can control your own destiny financially, right? Like, that is something that a lot of people want to make excuses for why they can't do. But at the end of the day, it's still up to you to be able to do. It's still in your hands to be able to do that. Now, if you choose not to, then again, you will be at the whims of other people's decisions, right? The government now controls you, whether you're on disability, right? Or whether you're on unemployment, whether you're getting food stamps. Like, again, these aren't bad things for people who really need them, right? But it should be your goal, maybe if you do need them, to get off of them. Because again, you don't want to be tied to other people's decisions. And hey, like, basically the government could be like, hey, we're paying you this, so now you have to do this. And because you don't have your own financial autonomy, whether it's investing, whether it's your own business, whether it's your ability to have a diverse skill set to where you can work anywhere and you're a scarce commodity in the marketplace, whatever it is, you need to figure that out. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be controlled by others. A lot of people who are, I'm sorry to say this, but if you're broke or you're poor, you're at the whims of government control. So if the government decides, hey, for example, right, during COVID, hey, you got to wear a mask to work here. Hey, you have to take the vaccine to work here. Well, if you don't have anything else besides that job, right, or you don't have a skill set, or you don't have income coming in from elsewhere, whether it's like assets or whatever, then you have to follow by those rules. Because what are you going to do? You're going to say no? You got to eat, right? You got to put food on your table. You got to pay your mortgage. You got to pay your rent. So at the end of the day, right, like, you want to always go back to yourself to be like, okay, what can I do? What can I learn that will help me become autonomous, right? And that's not to say everyone's going to be financially free, or everyone's going to be an entrepreneur or own a bunch of assets. But there are different ways that you can navigate around this system, right? And at the end of the day, like, it's up to you, right? Like, I don't want to be on government assistance. I don't want to be living with my parents and having to be supported by my parents forever. Like, I moved out 3 years ago, right? I don't want to have that, because I understand no matter what, even if my parents are taking care of me or helping me out, they're always going to find ways to use me to help them, because they look at it like, hey, we're basically paying for you to live here. So whatever we need from you or whatever we need help with, we expect you to do it. And that's not to say I don't love my parents or I don't want to help my parents, but I don't want to be at the whims of their decisions or what they have going on 24/7. Again, I'm an adult. The older you get, the more you want to be free, right? Especially as a man, right? So you have to really take money. It's like one of the most serious things you have to take in life. I would argue it's number one in the beginning, especially in your 20s. Like, you have to take money into your own hands. And again, I'd rather, and this is going to be debatable because a lot of people will not like what I'm about to say, but I'd rather work 60 to 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, and have extra money at the end of the month to invest or do what I want than be reliant upon other people to take care of me and again, use that money that they have that they're supporting me with to leverage me as something to use for whatever they need. I don't want to do that. And that's not to say I'm selfish, right? And this doesn't sound like a good Christian or good-hearted perspective. Like, hey, like, you don't want to help your parents, you're evil, you don't want to help other people. It's not that I don't want to help other people. I don't want to be used as leverage to help people. That's the problem. I want to help people that genuinely need help. I don't want to help people just because we're paying your bills, and now because we're paying your bills, now you have to do X, Y, and Z. That's control right there, right? Because they control you financially. If you have control over your finances, you're not easily controlled by the outside world. You're not easily controlled by the government. You're not easily controlled by friends or family members who are helping you or want your assistance. Like, so at the end of the day, I'm not saying don't be cool with your parents or don't ever go on government assistance if you really need it, but you should aim. What I'm saying is, you should aim to be autonomous. Like I said, I'd rather work 60, 70 hours a week and be able to do what I want to do, right? Yeah, sometimes working a lot sucks, but I'd rather be working 60, 70 hours a week and living on my own and making my own decisions and doing what I want for the most part outside of work than living with my parents, having them support me financially, having no money to invest, having no like peace and quiet at my house because I don't have a house. Like, that sucks. That's and again, I'm sorry, but that's where a lot of Gen Z men and women are right now. And it sucks, but it's like we're not taught that money is one of the most important things. Like, we're taught that you should focus on learning, education, doing what you love. That's all a lie. That's all like that's fake. That's not what real life actually resembles. Real life resembles hard work. Real life resembles sacrifice. Real life resembles doing things when you don't feel like it. That's what real life resembles. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't take your money seriously, if you don't work hard when you're young, if you don't invest, you're going to be at the whims of others that have a lot of money that will try to control you. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.